Good morning, all of you, my dear students. In today's session, I am going to teach you about the figures of speech, that the remaining parts. This is the last session regarding to the figures of speech. In the previous sessions, I have completed 21 figures of speech. In this session, I am going to complete 22nd figures of speech or figure of speech and 23rd figure of speech. In this document, the last we can see the figures of speech. Last two figures of speech are there. They are in this session 22. The figures of speech is called circumlocution. Circumlocution is the 22nd figure of speech. In this session, I am going to teach you, and listen carefully. Once again, good morning to everybody, and listen with concentration, my dear students. Here they have given one definition. This consists of expressing some fact or idea in a roundabout way. In a roundabout way, instead of stating it once. For example, the viewless careers of the air, the wind. The wind is called indirectly, he may express the viewless careers of the air. The statement of his was purely an effort of imagination, a fiction. The statement was a fiction. Instead of, he expresses a number of words you have been using. The statement of his was purely an effort of imagination. It is a fiction. In this way, the expressing of this way, using more words to say, to utter, to declare something in a single word, it is called circumlocution. Listen and concentrate. I will explain you in detail with the definitions, with the introduction part, and what is the necessary to use this figurative language in English literature by many writers. The use of many words, where fewer words do, especially in a deliberate. Deliberate means done consciously and intentionally. Deliberate means done consciously and intentionally. Attempt to be vague or evasive. Vague or evasive means, vague means uncertain or undefined, undefinite or unclear. Vague means unclear. Or evasing means done consciously and intentionally. This is the definition of the circumlocution. But explanation is, it is used when the speaker is unable to choose the right words to express or say something. It is used for a social purposes in order to avoid offensive words. This figure of speech, that is a circumlocution. Regarding to figure of speech, it is a phrase that circles around a specific idea with multiple words rather than directly evoking it with fewer and apter words. Apter means APTER. Apter means exactly or suitable, appropriate words. Instead of, he has been using multiple words specific for to express specific idea. He have been used multiple words. That is the figurative language, circumlocution. The use of an unnecessarily large number of words. You should remember that statement. To express an idea, He had no patience with the diplomat. It is an invasion in speech, deliberately avoiding something that you are supposed to do, deliberately, intentionally avoiding. Circumlocution, one person has given a speech, he was criticized for his use of circumlocution. But I am trying to avoid circumlocutions in my writings, in my speaking. Circumlocution in my writings, in my speech, I am trying to avoid. I cannot use circumlocution. Circumlocution, it is a form of writing where the writer uses exaggeratedly long and complex sentences in order to convey a meaning that could have otherwise been conveyed through a shorter, much simpler sentence. Instead of using shorter, simpler sentence, he has been exaggeratedly long and complex sentence. It is called circumlocution, figurative language. It is a rhetorical device that can be defined as an ambiguous, obscure, vague, not clear. Ambiguous means a paradoxical way of expressing things, ideas and views. That is the expression of the circumlocution, a figurative language. In fact, when somebody wants to remain ambiguous about something and he does not want to say anything directly, he himself in a situation, unclear, obscure, vague, in an ambiguous situation, that's why he does not want to say anything directly. He used circumlocution. He was in ambiguous mood. Then in that time he has paradoxically expressed the views, paradoxical way, expressing the things, ideas, views. One of the kind of the rhetorical device, circumlocution. Why he is using? He does not want to say anything directly because he wants to remain ambiguous. He wants to remain ambiguous situation. It means he is used circumlocution. What are the features of the circumlocution? When have been used this figurative language by the writers or authors, it is used when the speaker is unable to choose the right words to express or say something. On that occasion they have been using circumlocution. It is used in politics and law, and sometimes it becomes difficult to judge which perspective. Perspective means look through, perceive, point of view of a politician or a lawyer should be supported. It is in poetry and verse, it is used to create a regular matter. For the regular matter, the poetesses have been using the circumlocution, figure of speech. Why? Because to create a regular matter in the poetic writing, in the poetry. That is the meaning of the circumlocution of figurative language. And then these figurative language, why should you use this figurative language? All the writers, many writers. It is this figure of speech adds ornament to the English language. It adds beautiness to the English language. It colors to English language. It is elegant to the English language. It is a variation to the English language. It is an embellishment. It gives embellishment to the English language. Embroidery, emphasis, exaggeration, exclamation to the English language. And flourish or flowerness. And lushness, luxuriance. It gives luxuriance to the English language, the circumlocution. It gives colors, it beautifies the English language, the figurative language, circumlocution. We should not use as a conciseness, directness, simplicity, coherence. we should use more words, unnecessarily large number of words in this circumlocution to express an idea, indirect or roundabout language or periphrase. Periphrase means express meaning of something written or spoken using different words, especially to achieve greater clarity. What is the main purpose of the writer? To achieve greater clarity for the reader, for the listener, he has using more words. That means he is using circumlocution. Then only the listener, the reader should understand clearly. For example, we keep put our food in a refrigerator. One mother has said to his daughter, keep the food in refrigerator. That statement, my dear child, keep the food in the refrigerator or fridge. That statement, for example, in circumlocution, in figurative language, how do we express? An electrical cupboard with a series of drawers to put your food, to make it cold. This word explanation is given. A number of words have been, the use of unnecessarily large number of words to express an idea. It is indirect way or roundabout language. Instead of keep food in the fridge, a single sentence, his mother expresses the idea, an electrical cupboard with a series of drawers to put your food, to make it cold. This way, this is the circumlocution figurative language. You should understand, my dear students. And we go to the last figurative language, figures of speech. What is which one? The last figures of speech. A tautology. A pleonasm. Both are same. Tautology or pleonasm, both are same. What is the meaning of the definition of the tautology? Tautology is meant for repeating the same fact or idea in different words. It is the privilege and birthright of every man to express his ideas without any fear. Privilege, birthright. Repeating the same fact, to express his ideas without any fear. This is one of the examples. Tautology. A pleonasm, both are same. A slight difference is there. Here we are discussing about the tautology or pleonasm. Pleonasm, that means the statement is always true. A tautology is a logical statement in which the conclusion is eloquent to the premise, P-R-E-M-I-S-C, premise. What is the meaning of premise? A statement that argument claims will induce a conclusion. It is an assumption that something is true. That is the premise, the meaning of premise. Tautology means a verbosity, a redundancy, needless repetition. Pleonasm, reiteration. It is not a conciseness. It is not a brevity. It is not a laconism. It is not a comprehension. It is a verbosity. Tautology is a verbosity. It is a redundancy, a needless. It is a repetition. It is a pleonasm. It is a reiteration. Here the pleonasm also has given. I like smuggler. He is the only honest thief However, pleonasm is a combination of two or more words. A difference between, I will explain you, pleonasm between the tautology. Pleonasm, words which are more than those required for clear expression. That is more important. I saw it with my own eyes. This is the example. Pleonasm, in pleonasm, I saw it. It is enough. We adding with my own eyes. That means it is a combination of two or more words which are more than those required for clear expression. Why should you use more words to clear expression? To clear that particular statement. I saw it with my own eyes. This is the example of the pleonasm. The use of more and more words than necessary to convey meaning. The use of more words that are needed to express meaning, done either unintentionally for emphasis. For example, in pleonasm, black darkness, burning fire. Burning is expressed fire, burning fire. They offered free gift. They offered free gifts to us. Free gifts are given free. But we should use one more word, free. We ate beef hamburgers. Hamburgers are prepared by the beef. But we are not using the beef before the hamburgers. We ate hamburgers, that means which are prepared by using the beef. We should understand. But we add some more word, some more vocabulary. We ate beef hamburgers. That is a pleonasm. Pleonasm, and we are going to tautology. Tautology is expression or phrase that says the same thing twice, just in a different way. That is more important. The same thing twice, just in a different way. For this reason, a tautology is usually undesirable, as it can make you sound wider than you need to be and make you appear foolish. It is occasionally a tautology, intentionally ambiguity. But in most cases, it is the best to choose just one way to state your meaning and eliminate the extra verbiage. For example, I went to see him personally. Personally means I. Just example is I went to see him, it is enough. For say same thing twice, just in a different way, wider and usually undesirable, it can make you sound. The statement has given a sound. That is I went to see him personally. Instead of saying the statement, I went to see him, it is enough. But I went to see him personally. This is an example of tautology, because an adverb personally is an adverb. Personally, it is an adverb. Repeated the idea already expressed in the single word. I is a first person singular pronoun is there. I means personally. What is the necessary to use one more adverb personally? I went to see him, that is enough. But in tautology, something twice, just in a different way. I went to see him personally. For emphasis, to point out that subject of the sentence is invested in the action. That is the example of the tautology. But some more examples I will explain you regarding to tautology. The evening sunset was beautiful. Evening sunset, when did it happen? Sunset, evening. Why should you use evening? The sunset was beautiful is enough. But the same thing twice, just in different way. Intentionally ambiguity. The best to choose just one way to state our meaning and eliminate the extra verbiage. For example, I need a new hot water heater. I need a new hot, new heater, it is enough. Heater means to make the water hot, but a hot water heater. One more example is, she is always over exaggeration. Exaggeration means over, but you should not use another adverb over. In my opinion, I think he is wrong. In my opinion, he is wrong. I think what is necessary? The desert which is called Gobi desert, the Gobi is a very dry desert. Desert is dry, we should use the dry in adjective before the desert, before the noun. This is the tautology. Tautology means a logical statement which conclusion is equivalent to the premise. A statement that are argued claims will induce a conclusion. It is an assumption that something is true. That is the expression. He started a presentation with a short summary. Summary means very brief or gist or short. But short, why should you use one more adjective before the summary? Short. It is an expression, the figurative language. The same word twice, just in a different way. Intentionally ambiguous. He started presentation with a short summary. We need not use short. With a summary, it is enough. But when you use another word before that word, it has been expressed in a figurative language, a tautology, or pleonasm. A difference between a tautology and pleonasm. What is difference between? Like pleonasm, tautology is the unnecessary repetition of words, similar words. Both are same. In tautology, we are using unnecessary repetition of words. In pleonasm, we are using the similar words. Tautologies are typically considered stylistic mistakes. This is a stylistic way of speaking or writing, tautology. Tautology is a stylistic way of speaking or... And whereas the pleonasms are sometimes used for emphasis. That is more important, emphasis. For example, they arrived in succession, one another. Succession is enough. One after another is called succession. We use more words. Unnecessary repetition of the words, similar words. We are happy and joyful and content. Content means satisfaction. Happy, joyful, content. Repeat that again for me. Repeat means tell me again. That means tell me again. But repeat that again for me. Like pleonasm, tautology is the unnecessary repetition of words or similar words. But tautologies are typically considered stylistic. But pleonasms are sometimes used for emphasis. That is the stylistic purpose, it is emphasis purpose. We are happy and joyful and content. One who content, one who satisfied, that person is happy, that person is joyful. That's one who discontent or dissatisfaction, he is unhappy, he is joyless person. We are happy and joyful and content. This is the definition and examples, good examples of the tautology and pleonasm. The difference between only pleonasms for using the writer for emphasis purpose, tautologies for stylistic purpose. This is only slight difference. But using the unnecessary repetition of words or similar words are same both in pleonasm and tautology of figurative languages. Okay, my dear students, in this session I have completed all the 23 figurative figures of speeches. I have completed, and I am happy today all the figures of speech have been completed. Please you should utilize You should watch these videos and get to more and more knowledge, and you have a perfect knowledge on all these figures of speeches. Any competent, any participant who is going to write any examination, if they have the figures of speech, the topic is there in their syllabus, that student must be a command on at least 20 figures of speech minimum. The remaining should be not necessary, but 20 figures of speech, the knowledge of 20 figures of speech, we must need to attempt to get the full score in any examination. In literature, they are very important figures of speech. Thank you one and all. Goodbye once again.